In arguing with theists, I've found that a vast majority of them do not actually understand the difference between objective and subjective. In fact, in arguing with them, it seems as if they apply objective to their beliefs as a way of gaining status and legitimacy, rather than using the word for its actual meaning. They usually apply this word to God's existence, or to morality, of course, but they don't seem to know what objective actually means. The two best definitions of objective for this context are not influenced by personal feelings, interpretations, or prejudice, based on facts, unbiased, or of or pertaining to something that can be known, or to something that is an object or part of an object, existing independent of thought or an observer as part of reality. When pressed, no theist has ever been able to produce evidence for God's existence or for the origin of morality that is not influenced by personal feelings or which exists independent of thought as part of reality. It's just never happened. They'll point to morality, which is very widely held, but not universally, and say that's subjective because so many people believe it. But that doesn't make it objective. It doesn't matter how many people believe it. It could be believed by every last living being in the universe, and it still wouldn't be objective. To be objective, it would have to have an existence outside of minds, by definition. Contrast that with the word subjective, existing in the mind, belonging to the thinking subject rather than to the object of thought. When we have a moral impulse, or when we experience God, we don't have any external evidence of it. It happens within us, in our minds, our emotions. That is subjective by definition. It doesn't matter how strongly you feel it or how many people agree with you. Those criteria have nothing to do with objectivity or subjectivity. Nothing. The distinction is made by virtue of where the thought comes from and what generated it. Objective for existence independently of any mind, subjective for existence within a mind or minds. This is why scientists conduct multiple tests, why they subject their findings to peer review and try to remove as much subjective human bias as possible from their conclusions. If religious people did this with their beliefs, they probably wouldn't have beliefs anymore. Which is why I think they're always trying to gain the seeming legitimacy of objectivity for them. But it's a sham, and I for one am sick of letting the religious get away with it. The word objective means something, and you do not gain objective status by being popular, by being believed by a lot of people, or by longevity. You gain objective status by being independent of minds. So if you're going to try to argue that morality or God is objective, you'd better be prepared to present similarly objective evidence or prepare to be laughed out of the room.